Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Dynamo video. In this one, we have 5 really good picks from the NBA for you guys to consider. Bunch of games on the slate today. I love these larger slates, so let's get into this one. Picks from last video didn't do too well due to some blowouts, which we definitely have to consider when talking about the NBA because it definitely affects players' minutes. But if you guys are in the VIP, like I know a bunch of you guys who watch the YouTube videos are, we still have a ton of cappers over in the Discord giving out picks. Our player projection model, all 3 hit from this. We also had Finity, one of our cappers, go crazy, hit a 2-pick and a 3-pick slip, and looks like a 4 for 4 as well. So he went absolutely nuts yesterday. And for the YouTube watchers, if you click subscribe, add code NBA, you're going to get 25% off the monthly or the weekly plan. So check it out with the link down in the description and use code NBA to get in there. Also, when we don't have a video on the channel, still posting a ton of picks in the Discord. Lastly, this video is sponsored by So Rare. If you don't know what it is, it's like DraftKings Rainmakers for the NBA. You buy these cards and you could play them in fantasy contests that span 3-4 days, and you can win real cash prizes and more cards to play with. If you sign up with the link down below, you get 20 free common cards to play with, and if you buy 5 of these gold limited cards, you get 1 for free. For the NBA in-season tournament, they're also doing $100,000 in total cash prizes, so definitely get over there and check it out. You're going to get a ton of free cards to play with if you sign up with the link down below, also the pinned comment. Now let's get into the video. My first pick here, going with Jordan Clarkson. Again, we got to avoid blowouts like we saw yesterday, which made a ton of the overs not hit in 2 of the games out of 3. So for this one, I'm going to go for more competitive games. So Jordan Clarkson is the first one I'm going to. Over rebounds plus assists. Looking at Clarkson over here on Outlier, coming down to 8.5 rebounds plus assists. We can click on it, and Sportsbooks really like this one on the over. You can see in the last 10 games, he went over this in 8 of them. The one time this season he didn't go over this is when they got blown out. You could see the score, 104-126 to Phoenix, so just didn't play that many minutes. So again, trying to avoid these blowout games where guys aren't going to play their normal minutes. But every other game that was competitive or semi-competitive, Clarkson has been smashing this over of 8.5. In 2022, just over 50% of the games he hit over on this. On Outlier, you can also filter by only home games, so slightly higher percentage in home games. And then another thing you could do is filter his minutes per game. So you're thinking in closer games, Clarkson's going to play bigger minutes. So looking at Clarkson's game log, in that blowout loss, he only played 22 minutes. The other games he's played at least 31. So we can come back to here and see games where he played at least 31 minutes last season, and that bumps it up to 60%, which is great to see. And also in 2023, it's going to be 100% of games. So really like this one for Clarkson, and what I think will be a more competitive game against the Grizzlies. And then the next one, I think we're going to have a big game from Damian Lillard in this one. And when Lillard's on, he's hitting threes. Like Lillard has said, and Giannis, they haven't been seeing as many double teams. So we're going to go to Lillard on the over on threes made. I think Lillard can get a lot of open shots in this one against Toronto, who's not super great defensively. He probably will see some Dennis Schroeder, Malachi Flynn, those kind of players guarding him. So I think the over on the 3.5 threes for Lillard is a good one to take. So far, Lillard hasn't been shooting great, but he's got to break out of this shooting slump at some point. I think he can do it here. Coming back to Outlier, over on the 3.5 threes, 135, minus 139 on Caesars. So sportsbooks are all over this one, and obviously we're getting it on Prizepicks here at 3.5 also. So when sportsbooks like it that much, you love to see it. So not so great this season. Last season hit that in 53% of his games, but we can also bump up the minutes scale, which I like to do. So when he plays at least 30 minutes, bumps up to 55. So I like to see that from Dame. I think it's just going to be a big game from Dame against Toronto, who hasn't been great defensively so far this year. For our third pick, we're going back to that Memphis and Utah game. I should have stuck with that one instead of going to Dame second, but we're going back to it. So Clarkson and Bane going with the same stat, and it's going to be rebounds and assists. Going over for Bane. Bane has just been all over the place, having to do it all for Memphis so far, even though they haven't really been winning. But Bane has been going crazy, so sticking with him over 9.5 rebounds plus assists. Really like this one. I think this game's going to be close, competitive, and higher scoring. This one for Bane, minus 142 over here on FanDuel, so they really like this one. Bane's been kind of all over the place so far this year. Only has hit this in one game, but I think his assist numbers are going to be up for this one. The Grizzlies just haven't been knocking down shots, so Bane hasn't had as many assists, but I think, again, a breakout here for Bane. So we're going to go to him in this one to stack up this game. I think it's just going to be a close, competitive, high-scoring game. We're going to see a lot of stats put up for guys, and I'm targeting Bane and Clarkson in this one. Then we're going to go over to Steph Curry on the rebounds against Sac. Kind of a weird one for a Curry pick, but going to Curry, he rebounds the ball really well against Sac. Is what I saw when researching this one. The sports books really like it. Hit this in 6 of his last 10 games. So far this year has hit it in 3 of 4 games. Head-to-head, you could see he's hit it in 9 to 15 games against Sac. And, the Kings basically have had the same roster. These two have played a lot over the past year and a half, including that playoff series. So definitely liking Curry on the rebounds. Definitely a weird one to take for Curry, but I think it's a fair line. You might see it jump back up as well. So like this one at 4.5. For the last pick, I did want to go to some Clippers because I do think Kawhi and Paul George are not going to play. No Clippers props up on the board though because their status is not known at the time of recording this. But I will post in the paid Discord my picks for the Clippers when those come out, because I think we can jump on those early. And then also no Christian Wood props up, who I love Christian Wood, and it looks like Rui is also not going to play, so I think Wood's going to be in for a big game, and I think his lines are going to come in pretty low, so I'll post those in the Discord as well. But the one we're going to is going to be a rookie, Scoot Henderson, and Scoot Henderson is not blowout proof. I'm taking the over in this one on the straight points at 10.5. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Henderson in closer games, he's played 36 minutes, 34 minutes, and then when they got blown out, he only played 27 minutes. Already has 2 games at 11 points, which would cover, but has just shot atrociously. I mean, he's made 1 3 out of I don't know how many attempts, maybe like 18 attempts. Shot 33% from the field. I think he's going to have a breakout game. Playing Detroit, this one should be close. He should be playing mid to high 30 minutes again, and I really like Scoot Henderson. Think he's just off to a pretty poor start, but he'll figure it out soon, and I think this is the game he's going to figure it out. Get at least 11. 11 seems pretty low to me, so I'm liking Henderson over here at 10.5. I think he's going to have a big game against Detroit, who is not great. Defensively, he'll probably see Killian Hayes as a defender, maybe some Jaden Ivey. So I think he's going to be in for a nice game in this one. And excited to see him have a big breakout game, expecting it for today. So that's going to be the 5 picks. And again, I'm just one capper. We have 5-6 other cappers posting picks in the Discord. Get over there, use code NBA for 25% off for the YouTube viewers. Also sign up for So Rare. You're going to get 20 free cards to play with, plus that free one once you buy 5. They have $100,000 in cash rewards for the in-season NBA tournament, which actually starts on Friday. So get over here, sign up. You can play completely for free just with the free cards they give you, and it's a lot of fun if you like daily fantasy or DraftKings Rainmakers. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe to the channel. Trying to put out NBA videos as much as I possibly can. Also going to have the NFL Thursday night video come out today on Wednesday, so check out the end card here. It could be up. You could watch that one after this, and I'll see you guys in another video.